Hi everybody, welcome back to another Project Geospatial podcast. My name is Mason, and I'm here today joined with Susan. So Susan, would you mind telling us a little about what you do and what your company is?
Sure. First name, Susan Moreira. All right. People have a little trouble with
Yeah.
the pronunciation on that last name
Okay.
a lot of times. My company is Axiologic Solutions, and we've been serving the intelligence community for about 16 years now, and we are an Intel integrator. So we really specialize in system, data, and cybersecurity engineering for the complex Intel systems that they're trying to put out.
Okay, awesome, yeah. Would you mind telling us a little bit more in depth how Axiologic goes and deals with geospatial data?
So we deal with it both from NGA side. We do a lot of support to IPA on the analytic side, both from a program support standpoint with Aspen, focusing on some technologies like how to advance computer vision, as well as just improving the workflows for the analytic process. We also support a couple of the other IPOs.
Okay.
In addition, we also support geospatial from other customer bases such as DIA. I don't know if you heard the discussion point yesterday about the Mars program and where that is. We played a major role in managing that program and getting it to where it is today.
Yeah, could you talk a little bit more in depth about how you managed and helped that?
Sure. So we provided the CETA support for that contract. There were multiple contracts that were associated with that program. So there were actually 7 different contractors operating under very different agile development techniques and with their own sets of contract terms, conditions, and scope. So a large part of what we had to do was figure out how to get them organized. Not just, it's a huge data problem, right? Trying to organize data, but there's also the huge problem of how do you get the contractors together and moving in the same direction. So that was a large part of what we did. Making sure that we were getting the requirements process down, made some significant improvements to that so that we could get the sprints out 33% faster. We also, focused on test-driven engineering. So there was a lot of things that we worked on that were critical to enabling the results that have been seen thus far.
Okay, yeah, that's awesome. So I know Axiologic, kind of their motto is mission ready. So would you kind of go into a little about how you integrate that into your work?
How do we integrate mission ready into our work? Sure. So we work very closely with the actual analysts, operators, to translate the requirements that come down from the warfighters. In some cases, we have people that are deploying overseas with the warfighters or participating in training exercises that they do, so that we get that better understanding of what their needs and requirements are, and that we can translate for them what capabilities actually exist that can help them.
Yeah, that's awesome. So kind of the hot topic right now, I have to mention, of course. So artificial intelligence, how is it that, if you work with it, how do you integrate that into your process?
So we work with it in a couple of different ways. Right now for Project Maven, we provide CETA support for their AI efforts. So as far as the platform management, we provide expertise for that. Managing the financials, because as you can imagine, it can explode rapidly for the budget. So we're very carefully focused on that. So we have that angle of things that we are working on. How do you successfully integrate AI when you have constrained resources and as it's still evolving so quickly? On the other side, we also, for a DIA customer, work with prototype development. To get some things in there. We also supported getting AI ops implemented over there so that we could get products through the ATO process and in production much more quickly with about a 50% decrease in the time.
Oh, that's awesome. So you mentioned the Lunar project that you guys were working on. Is there any other projects you would like to mention to our audience, or anything else you guys are having in progress that you'd like to mention?
Sure. So in addition to Mars, we support...
Mars,
Yeah, no worries. We support the Common Data Fabric, which is the federated approach that the IC has taken. DIA has taken the lead on that, and we've worked closely. We're not the developer, right? We make that very clear. But working with the different stakeholders to get them to the table to explain what the capabilities are and to get them onboarded onto that system to increase the ROI on it. We've worked with DIA's Data Hub to get that in place, including the part that was reserved more for the researchers and scientists, right? So they have their own, box that they can do their work in. And we've done a number of other large efforts that we've supported there. From the cybersecurity implementation, we focus very much on delivering the engineering expertise to improve the processes there, make sure that everything's baked in from the beginning, and to make sure that the process for the ATOs flows more smoothly. Right. So there's several different angles that we play from that. There are a number of other programs that we support that probably won't go into here.
Yeah, of course. So I know you mentioned cybersecurity, and it's interesting because I feel like a lot of companies put cybersecurity as an afterthought. So it's really good to hear that you guys are doing it as a forethought as opposed to kind of figuring it out later.
Yeah, we really see that you've got to have cyber system and data engineering integrated from the beginning. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. So kind of to delve more into the cybersecurity side, how do you guys deal with it? And like kind of what is it specifically that you deal with it in terms of like, not technical, just in general?
So a lot of our focus really is the challenge of getting the systems through the RMF process more quickly and with fewer issues. So there's a lot of advisory services that we provide in doing that. We work with the customers to figure out how do you make JWICs work better for folks while improving the security aspects. Particularly, one of the concerns that isn't here yet for the IC as much, but it's on the cusp, is the quantum engineering challenges that will come up with cyber. So we have somebody that is a quantum engineer that is focused on research for that for one of our customers.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you mentioned another hot word right now, quantum, basically anything quantum machines, quantum computing, that sort of thing. Is it possible for you to go kind of into specifics or any generalization that you can make about this that your company's working with?
There's not a lot I can say about it.
Okay.
So, it really right now, because of limited budgets, it's very hyper-focused on the security aspects of quantum for this particular, the CTO.
Yeah. So, and it is a really new emerging field, so
it's
good to hear that someone's working on it.
Well, it's funny because I went to sit in on one of the sessions yesterday that I believe was IBM was delivering on quantum. And quickly realized I was a little bit out of my depth and probably should have sent the quantum engineer to it. But it was an awesome presentation. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. So to our listeners, we are currently at the GEOINT 2025 symposium. And what is it that you and Axiologic hope to gain from being here?
We always get great new contacts while we're here, as well as renewing old contacts or existing contacts. There's always new technology that is coming on the market, and part of our focus on technology evaluation, is looking over the horizon at what's coming next and also figuring out what can actually be integrated within the customer spaces that we're working with. So that's a large part of what we focus on when we come here, is researching those companies, doing some outreach so we can follow up with them.
Right, yeah, that's awesome. So what is one thing that you would change or dislike about the geospatial intelligence community that would help improve you and what your company does?
It's really hard to say that there's something negative about it because I think everybody loves geospatial. We talk about what a well-kept secret it is because it really does underpin everything. I think that the main point is that people probably need a better understanding of just 100%. How integral it is in every facet of our lives. And the more that organizations like USGIF, NGA through its public outreach, and other organizations like yourselves can help educate, not just those of us in the community, but those who could use the information for things like emergency wildfire management, things like that, all the better for us.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I would like to thank you so much, Susan, for coming on, and Axiologic for being here, of course.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening. Is there anything else you'd like to tell our audience or that you didn't get to speak about?
I'd just say Mason is great, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Do you have any plugs or sponsors? Anybody you would like to mention a website?
Axiologicsolutions.com lays out what we do, and I'd start there. And leave it at that.
Yeah, perfect. So thank you so much for listening, and I'd like to thank you again, Susan, for being here.
Thank you.
All right, I've been Mason, and we are signing out. We'll see you next time.